Hello, everybody. My name is Joe, and welcome to another YouTube video. It's been 4 months. It's really exciting to be back. I am really excited because I have pushed this. Initially, I think in the last video, I mentioned that I was going to do 3 months. But like the new work was a lot and took me some time to settle. Now I am getting to a place where I feel like I'm settling in nicely. So I got a few equipment. I got a mic. I got like a light on the side. Try to improve the production quality of what I am doing on YouTube. How are you guys doing? I missed you all. Comments. You guys should drop something in the comment like, how are you guys doing? Today we are going to be creating. I'm going to be creating something Christmas themed. So there's something I did one time where I created a whole bunch of Christmas 3D icons. I think I'm going to be doing that this time around again, but with a spin on it. We're going to be doing it with a different style. The style we're going to be using is this inflated kind of style where the pressure is high on the balloon, so it blows and bursts air into the shape. That is what I'm going to be doing. I really hope I'm going to figure it out. It's been a while. I feel like I might be a little rusty. I've not used Blender in a long ass time. So the first Christmas shape we're going to be creating is this right here, is the candy stick, and that is this one. So first of all, I'm just going to bring in a cylinder, and when the cylinder, I'm just going to scale it on the z-axis a little bit, and I'm going to go to edit mode, select the top vertices, and I'll look for spin tool right here, and I'll get a spin tool, and I'm just going to come over to this spot right here and move and just create the effect that I want for the candlestick. This is the candlestick right here. So I think when it gets to this point, I want to extrude on the z-axis a little bit just for it to look the way it's supposed to. So I'm going to scale this on. I'm going to grab these vertices down here. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit rusty. It's been a while. I'm going to grab this and move it on the z-axis a little bit, and I can GZ right here. I can shift C and just bring our 3D cursor to the center of the scene or the middle of the scene, and I can bring my origin to geometry. What I want to do next is I want to evenly distribute loops around it, and something that we are going to be using is the cloth simulation. The cloth simulation requires that you have a dense mesh, and not just that, you also have evenly distributed loops around your model. So I'm just going to add loops just to make sure we have something dense enough for the simulation to work with. So we have this. I'm going to select this face right here, and I'm going to bevel that slightly, and I'm going to do the same to this part right here. So I'm just going to go to view and frame selected, and I'm going to bevel this. So I'm going to shade smooth the whole thing, and what I'm going to do next is to start selecting the vertices that I want to be pinned. So I'm going to go down to our example right here. This is our example. All of this part right here that is wrinkled are all pinned vertices. So I want to select all of this part that I want to be pinned on the candy, and the loops that I want those to be on is I want to have that effect on this loop right here. I want to have that effect on this right here. So we are going to select these edges. I'm going to select this all the way down to this, and what we're going to do next is add that to a vertex group. So we're just going to assign all of that, and we're going to come to the cloth simulation tool, and we're going to go down to pressure. So I'm going to increase pressure. I'm going to add 30 to that, and then the shape that we want on this, I'm going to add my pin group right here, and the shrinking factor, I'm going to bring that down. So what I can do now is I can just switch this to timeline and I can play simulation. So this is what we have. It's looking not the way we want it to, and we're just going to adjust our settings slightly. So all I'm going to do next now is add more poly counts to this. So I just subdivided it, and I'm going to apply the scale to it, and we're just going to re-simulate that. And I think this is a better rendering of that structure. Right here, we see some pinching. So what I want to do is take out this face, and then I'm going to reconnect this with grid fill. So we're just going to grid fill this, and let me do that again so I can have control over the segments and offsets. So I'm going to do this, and I think this is a better grid fill than the other. I'm going to re-simulate, and we have something better down there. So I'm going to apply geometry to mesh, and we have our first icon of the video. I'm going to move this on the y-axis, move it out of the way, and I'm going to go next to another icon. I think I'm going to do this one, the dates. So for the date, I'm not going to add the calendar. I just want to do text, just the text icon alone, basically. So what I want to do next is RX90, and we have our text objects flat on the surface. So I'm going to select all and change this to 25th of December, which is 2 days from now. I hope I really can get this video out by tomorrow. I have this set up, and I'm just going to choose a bulky font. I think this is a good font. I'm going to change the selection to cursor, and I'm going to bring this on the surface. So we have this going on, and I think it's good. What I just want to do next now is add to the geometry depth. So I'm just going to extrude rather, not depth. I'm just going to extrude it, I beg your pardon, and then I am going to apply the entire geometry to mesh. So we have this. I'm just going to shade smooth, and we have good shading too. If we go to the edit mode, we see that the geometry is all messed up. So what I want to do now is remesh this, and I can go to the modifier stack and apply a remesh number that is good. So I think this is good enough. We have a fair amount of geometry that will allow us to add more subdivision in it. So I'm just going to apply that remesh modifier, and this is cool. So I'm just going to select L and G on the y-axis just to separate these two. What I want to do next is use the edge selects, and I'll select this edge. Don't mind me, I'm watching the rumble, so I think we just won the game. I'll select this edge right here, select this edge, and I know that these are the ones that are going to be the pin group. So I'm just going to come straight to the clothes modifier, scroll down to pressure. I think pressure for this I'll use 30, and I'll come down to the shape, apply. I've not added my pin group, so pardon me, we'll go to the pin group first, and I'll add this vertices group, and then I'll come up to the pin group and apply those vertex group I just created. Sorry. I'm going to bring down the shrinking factor, and let's simulate. Our simulation looks really rough, so I want to add more pressure to it so that it blows out properly. So I will take this up to 200, re-simulate, and I think this is fair. If you ask me, this is fair. So we have our icon for the 25th. I'm going to apply geometry to mesh, and I really don't like this result. So let me go back. I'll probably want to re-simulate. You'd see that we have the wrinkled part, but they are kind of constrained to the parts where they want those wrinklings to be. But I won't want it on the surface. So think a way I can use to solve for that. Let's see. Okay, I like this better. So I have the result that I want, and I think I achieved that by increasing. So the shrinking factor, for us to not have any influence of the shrinking factor, it needs to be 0. for us to have the maximum, it needs to go down towards -1. And for us to be able to control in between the 0 and -1, I can have it around -0.1. So I think that gives me the result that I'm looking for. And I think this is I like this. So I'm going to apply this visual geometry to mesh, and we have our second icon of the night. I'm going to GY, but before I GY, I want to start using colors. So I'm going to bring in my shader editor. I'm going to add new shader and then switch this to rendered mode. Let's see what it looks like. I'm going to change this. I'm going to add a plane RY90, and I will scale this and GX, move it backward. So this is going to be a background that we're going to work with. I want to see if my video is breaking because I turned on the render. Is it breaking? Let me stop the recording and see. So I see my video is breaking because of the render view. So I'm going to go back to, I think I'm going to use material preview for this just to get a shader going. And for this, let me see. I think I want to use red. I'm going to use red color for this. So basically, we're going to use a more saturated red. This is good. And then we're going to bring down roughness. Just going to make it look like a balloon, basically. And for this, it's going to be an alternating color between red and white. But I'm going to get back to that. Let me get to it now. So I'm going to frame this. Nope. I'm going to frame this to this view. For this, I want to bring the 5 closer. So I can select this and GY. Let me just bring the 5 closer to the 2. So that's perfect for me. Okay, so I'm going to add a circle primitive, and I'm going to reduce that vertices to 10 so we can make a star. And with this vertices selected, I'm going to go to the select menu right here, and I'll choose check out the select. So all of this, I'm just going to scale to the center of the scene right here, and I'll select all and fill. Or before I fill, I'm going to come to the top view. I'm going to duplicate this vertex right here and put to the center. And what I'm going to do is just fill this. And I'm kind of creating a system that we would be able to have chords on all. So I'm going to select all, frame, select all, frame, select all of this, frame. Oh no. Frame, yeah, I think I'm correct. Select all of this, frame. And next, I'm going to select all and then subdivide. Remember, we want a dense mesh, basically. So I'm going to select all and extrude. And with the extrusion, I'm going to add more segments to the sides. I'm going to do 2 segments to the side. I'm going to select all and scale on the Z-axis. Those vertices I've selected, I'm going to add them to the vertex group and assign, go back to this, and then we'll add our pen group. I'm going to bring down shrink factor slightly, and let's see what that's going to look like. Not great. I'm going to increase pressure, and I'm going to bring shrink factor down even more. So we have the star. I'm just going to apply the entire visual geometry to mesh, and I'll RY. And I'll come to the front view and just rotate this slightly. And I'm going to scale this and move this on the Y-axis, move out of the way. The next I'm going to work on is just this kind of decorative ball. I'm going to add the UV sphere, and then I'm going to add a simple deform modifier. So the simple deform, I want to twist on the Z-axis. So I can just twist this just like so. And then with this, I can apply that geometry to mesh. And what I want to do is select one, leave 3, select the next one. So I'm just, right? So I have this selection ready. I'm going to come to the vertex group and add this. I'm going to go to the simulation like we've been doing, and I'm going to take this to the first frame. In the timeline, I'm going to add pressure, set this to 40, and I would come to the pin group and add that to the pin group and just bring down shrinking factor a bit, and let's simulate that and see. So the simulation is good, I like it. I don't think I'm going to adjust anything. I'm just going to shade smooth. For this, I will just add this kind of a shape on it, so people are able to understand what it is better. So I'm going to call 3D cursor to this vertex, and then I'm going to add a cylinder. So scale this, and right here I'm going to bevel this. But before I do that, let me apply the scale again and just bevel this. And I'm going to bring in a torus to this point right here. We're going to bring in a torus. Scale that RY90. Scale that in and JZ. And I think this is perfect. I'm just going to join this, and then to this, I want to alternate between white and red, but this will require a lot of just selecting each of this squiggly line. I don't think I have that time right now. So I think what I'm going to do, I can try select this. Let's see what it's going to select. Okay, so this is going to take a long time to create. So I'm just going to do it the same and show it to you guys. I think this is a better start than the one that I had rendered before. So we're just going to take this to selected, delete the former one, RZ and RY90. Okay, cool. Next we're going to work on is similar balloon like this, but it's going to be a little bit simpler. It's similar to this, but it's going to be simpler basically. So I'm going to bring in a UV sphere, just like so. I'm going to frame to selected, and I'm going to SX. And what I want to do is select this loop right here. This is going to be our pin loop, just like so. So I'm going to add this to the vertices, assign, and then I'm going to come to the simulation and then turn on pressure. So pressure, leave it 40, and I'm going to bring this down at the group, and this is what it's looking like. I'm going to bring the shrink factor even more. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply this scale, also apply transform and all of that. And let's see. I'm going to bring down the pressure, bring that down to half. Feel a little too big, pause. I'm going to add subdivision to this. So I think I'm beginning to get what I want, but it needs to be smaller in the x-axis. So I'll bring up the shrink factor to see the difference, and I think this is kind of what I'm looking for, but with more wrinkle. So let's see if I can get more wrinkle in that, but at this size. Looks like I can't, so I'm going to bring down, just play with the shrink factor a little bit. So let me just apply this geometry to mesh and scale on the x-axis. Do that manually, but this looks like it looks like a snack. Let me apply this on SX. Okay, I'm not mad at this. Right here, I'm going to bring cursor to this point, and I'll bring in just the plane RY90, and I'll come to the front view, scale this down, scale this on the z-axis and GZ. So I can bring in a loop right here. I can GZ, and what we're creating here is just basically a hook. So we want to insert this point, but do that while we apply scale. Insert this, I'll delete the face basically. So we have an object on top that we can basically use to hang this balloon. So I can GZ, I can scale this just like so, and maybe just join both, and I'll just add this to the other collections. I think I can link this to the 25 because they're going to have similar materials. So I think we're almost there. We just have a couple more. The next I'm going to work on is this. So I don't know what they call it. I used to know what they call it, but now I'm not really sure. I'm going to work on this, right? So I'm going to put 3D cursor at the center, and I'm going to add in a torus. Where's the torus? So these are torus. I'm going to frame to selected right here, and with this I can. Let me bring in that torus again because I probably need more counts on the torus. More counts, like so, and that's cool. I'm going to come to the z-axis, shade smooth, and I'll select how many am I leaving in between. I'm leaving 3, 3, 7 in between. 3, 7 in between. Let's see, 3, 3. I hope I'm selecting the right amount because I don't like to select this all over again. You know what? Let me just eyeball it. So I'm going to add this into the vertex group and assign, and then I am going to go on to a clothes scene. Same process. I'm going to bring this out to 30, add that group, and bring down the shrink factor. I like this. First try, it looks good already, but let's just try more. Okay, this is even better. This is perfect. So I'm going to apply and visual geometry to mesh, basically. Let me do that again. Visual geometry to mesh. I'm going to bring in a box. I would like to create like a bowl. This kind of bowl right here. I would like to create something like that. So I'll bring in a cube, GZ, and SY, SZ. I'm going to GZ down here and RY 90. So I just want to turn this to face me just like so, and I can select this and GZ. So this is going to be the basis of the bowl, basically, and I'm going to, again, we need more loops. This is simulation. It needs more detail to simulate properly. So I'm going to add more. I think on this also I'll just add, no, let me add two to this, and we are good. So the edges that I want to be active are this, or rather the edges I want to be the pin group, not to be active. This, I will select this. I think I have everything. So I'm not going to go to the vertex group and assign. Sweet. So I'm going to go to the clothes, scene, apply pressure, take this to 40, bring in our pin group, and then drop this down. Let's simulate this and see. Okay, not bad for a first scene. I like it actually. Only that I'm going to go to the beginning and scale this on the y-axis. The shrink factor, let's bring it down even more. Okay, let's scale this on the x-axis and RX or RY 90. We have our bow. I'm just going to place this right here, GX. I think this is going to be green. I think this is our first object that is going to be green. So I'm going to go down to material preview and select an ideal green for this. Let's see. More saturation. That's what it looks like. Darker values, and then the bowl can be red. We're going to join both and JY. Add it to the collection. I think we're getting somewhere. This star, probably don't know what color to use for this star. And then this too. I want to use this wavy color for it. That's good. But this time I'm going to alternate between red and green. Okay, cool. Not mad at it. GY. I think this star. Let me see what color this star should be. Should I take the gold? I think I should use the gold color for the star. Yeah, gold color for the star. I'm with that like mad. So this is already looking the way I want it to. The only thing is that this 25th seem to have a lot more gloss than the others. So I want to work on the gloss for these things, reduce roughness for just literally everything. Next, we're going to work on, I'm also going to work on this same kind of ball, but with a different pattern. So I'm going to bring in UV sphere. Hope I'm still recording. I'm still recording. I'm going to go frame to selected. I'm going to switch to solid view. And what I'm going to do, I want to take out this selection and bring in another selection of the UV sphere. So I'm going to multiply this by 2 and multiply the rings by 2. And the reason is that I need more detail on this stuff. So I'm going to select this ring, right? So I'm going to come here, assign vertex group, come in clothes, and then pressure, let's do it at 40, pin group right here, and bring this down. So let's sim that. I don't know why this is bringing in wrinkle on this. I don't like that. So let me see. But I need this more pronounced. So let's do 100 under pressure. I think this is as far as I can push it. Right? So I'm just going to do shade smooth, visual geometry to mesh. And I'm probably going to still have the same kind of selection thing I had going on here. Which I don't mind. I think this will be easier because I can switch to an X-ray view and just make that selection easy for myself. So what I want to do this time, I want to select this hook right here, Shift D, P to separate that selection. I'm going to bring origin to that selection and carry that origin to the 3D cursor. So I can select or view rather, and then frame that selection. I can GZ and I can just scale this down, G. Let's have this in the center. But what I want to do next is link these two materials. Let's change to material preview so I can see what I'm editing right here. So for this, I want to make a different material for this and come to the front view. So we have everything red. I want to make this kind of a selection, something like this. Select every other one and assign the white color or the white shader to it. But this time around, I think I'm going to use green. So I'm going to apply the whites. Let's go to the shader. This is dope. What I would do is probably change, what other Christmas color can I use? Should I use gold on this? I think I want to use gold on this. Let's try. I don't like it. I'm going to change this to green and gold. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, I'm not mad at this at all. Okay, G. We'll scale this, bring this on here like so. This I'm not sure of the gold actually. I don't know what the gold is giving me. Okay, great. Next I'm going to work on is a Christmas heart. So for a Christmas heart, I think I pretty much need a torus, which we have here. So I'm just going to duplicate that and bring that selection to the cursor, RY90, RY180. And then I'm going to frame this selected. I'll first of all take out this bow. And then we have the base of the cap. I'm going to bring in a cone. Yes, I'm going to bring in a cone, right? And I can scale that and GZ, just like so. And on this tip edge, I'm going to bevel that and add loops to it. So we have that. I can scale on the Z-axis, GZ, and delete this face. So basically what I want to try to do is make a selection in such a way that it still shows that it is folded, that it still has that balloon property to it, basically. To select this top, and I'll move that with proportional editing. Just like so. So I can select this. I'm going to add this to the pin group. sorry, to the vertex group, and I'm going to add a cloth modifier to this. Pressure, let's do 40. Shrink factor down, group. Nope. Apply transform scale. So I think this whole thing needs to just come down in size for that simulation to work. Okay, not bad. We just need to shrink down this part so it's contained in the frame, in the base of the hearts. I like this simulation actually. So I'm going to apply it. Scale on the Z, scale down. So it is now contained in the base of the hearts. I think for the hearts, what does the heart look like? White on the ground down here. So I'm going to change this to, do we have any white shader? Frame to selected. I'm going to make this red. And something that needs to be worked on is some kind of a ball at the tip. So it needs some kind of a ball at the tip. So I'm going to select this, bring cursor right here, and I'm going to bring in a UV sphere. I'm going to scale that UV sphere down, and I want to bring in another UV sphere so I can reduce the amount of vertices. So this, I'm just going to divide by 2. And this, I'm going to divide by 2. So we're back to our default setting for the UV sphere. So I can select this one, this, no. This right here, this right here, and this right here. So we can just add those to the vertex group. Select clothes, and we can bring in pressure to 40. Then add a pin group, bring this down, and let's run another sim on that. Let's just run it back for the last time. It's not like an important detail that we should waste so much time on. Okay, I'm okay with this. So I'm going to go with this. Add mesh. I don't know if this is glossy and okay, glossy. However, I don't know if I want to have a Fresnel going on here so that the creases can, no, I'm on EV, that's why it's looking like this. I think when I go to cycles, it's going to look good. So I can select all 3 and join into one mesh, and I can bring it into our collection of Christmas 3D icons. So far, I think they're looking cute and it's working just the way I planned. So I can GY, give more space to the star. I just hope when I go into cycles, it's still going to look this good because I really like what this is looking like. I'm digging this like mad. So the next we're going to work on a Christmas tree. That is going to be a tricky one, but I feel like we can do it. Then the first thing I want to do is I will add a cone, and similar to what I did with the heart, I'm going to do for the tree, but probably with much lesser amount of pinpoint, so we don't have so much bubbles on the tree. So I'm going to add this, bevel that. We can just add some loops to this, select all, subdivide. That's cool. I can shade smooth, and I think first thing I want to do is make my selections for the pin group. So I can select this, come to the side, select this, come to the back, select this, the other side, select this. So we've gone all around to make the selection. I'm just going to select one. That is this loop right here. That is the only things that are going to have the constraint. They're going to have the pin group element, or the pin group property rather. So I'm going to come to the vertex group and add this new vertex, and I'll go to the cloth simulation. Same thing. I think by now we already know the steps. I'm going to bring this in and add those pin groups, and let's see. I love it. And run that scene again. So this is dope. Ooh, I love it. So with this selection, I'm going to just stack it up to where it looks like a tree. I don't know if I went away from the mic and it stopped, but I am back. I'm sorry, guys. So I'm going to add this visual geometry to me. I'm loving this because it's flowing and I'm getting the result I want. So that's good, actually. I love that. So I'm going to stack in such a way that it reduces as it goes up. So I'm going to Shift D, Z, scale down, Shift D, Z, scale down. Bring this down a little bit and maybe vary a little bit on the rotation on the Z-axis so it doesn't just look like the exact same thing. I'm happy with this. The only thing is that I think it should have a base just like this. So I will just bring in a simple cylinder. I'm not going to simulate that, but I'll make sure it looks soft and round. So I can scale this, GZ, scale on the Z-axis, scale down, and right here, I can select this and put that on scale. That is too round. That's good enough. Shade smooth. I feel like I want to make this look even blobby. So I can add loop right here and scale, but we'll do like so. And then this right here will bevel. So this is good enough for me. So I can shade smooth and I will add all of this. No, before I do that, I want to assign material to this. Green. Let's go to the material editor. Okay, pretty dope. Let's add this to our collection. I don't know if I'm going to be giving this out free. Might come out a little stipend, just something small. Is this tray good? I think I can put a star on top of it, but what I don't know if it's good enough. Let me see. Shift Z. I think what I will do next, I have a list, maybe like a gift box. Onto the gift box. After I have gift box, I probably should be done with this video. It's already taking too long. I think it's probably going to be an hour video. I also want to edit tonight because if this doesn't go out tomorrow, there's no point. After tomorrow, it's already Christmas. So I want to see if I can edit tonight. Also would like to call someone. Oh, okay. Let's see how it goes. Subdivide again, and I can select the edges I want to be restricted. Let me call the person first. Give me a second. I'll be back. So these are going to be our pin group. I don't know if I want to use faces for the pin group or I just want to use edges. Let me use edges just like so. I think this should be included also. So I can add this right here to the vertex group, assign. Then when we come to the clothes, we can easily apply pressure to that. That's 40. That's the group, and shrink factor down a little, change to solid view. Let's see. Okay. No, we're getting a lot more shrinking from this. Wow. I really love this. All right. For the gift box, I think I need a strap on it. Right, I need a strap on it, but I'm not going to put one. I think this is fine. Red, white. Oh man, it does need a strap. It does. So for me to put a strap on this, I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to put it on. I'm not going to put it as a different balloon mesh of its own. It's just going to be on the surface of the box, just like so. I'm not feeling it, but I'm just going to add it to the collection regardless. Scale. Bring the icon that we're not filling into the collection. RZ90. So this is cool. I think I would end the video here. I will just go on to editing or I think I'm going to prepare a short. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pause my video in OBS or turn off the video layer so that it doesn't hang, and then set up my camera to take a shot. I'm going to open my photographer add-on, bring in a camera into the scene. So I'm going to turn on sky texture so we can have a very nice view down here. should I make this PNG like a transparent background? I'm thinking of doing that so that you can easily put this on whatever background you want to put it. So I can go to film and change this to like a transparent background, and I'll take this out, right? We still have our HDRI doing a lot of the lighting, but then we won't have a background lens. So the first thing I want to light up, I think I'm going to do the heart first. So with the heart, I'm going to just put that into place and then position my camera accordingly. So I think for the camera, our camera seems to be a really long angled lens, so we're getting a lot of distortion on the heart. So I'm going to go to the camera right here, and I'm going to change that to like a 150 mil and pull back on the shots. Okay, this is pretty good. I can select this and frame selected. I can RY or no RY so that the inside of the heart can show. I think something that needs urgent fixing is just the lights generally. I want to bring down the entire intensity to like 0.2, and then maybe a bounce. I need a bounce plane down here, so I'm going to bring in a plane so that light that is bouncing on it can touch the bottom right here. So without the plane, you notice that the bottom of the icon is dark. I'm going to take out the plane. You see that it's dark, but with the plane, we have lights bouncing on it and reflecting on the bottom. I'm going to rotate our sun just to see if we can have basically a different kind of look to the sunlight. I like this a lot. I feel like I want to bring in all of the icons, so I at least have a thumbnail ready to go, right? Before I probably think about rendering it one by one. So I'm going to bring all of the icons into frame. I'm going to bring back that rotation, and all the icons just come back in. I'm going to bring this on here. Probably want to scale all of this down, scale this down, also scale this down, because I still need to bring a 3 into the shot, and the 3 ideally should be the biggest element here. I don't like how the 3 is reacting to the sunlight, so I'm probably going to edit that 25th. So what I'm still trying to do is just get an ideal arrangement for this. I think the ring can come here, this can be here, this maybe can be here, and then the candy a little bigger. Right here is dope. I can put a star up here. I can also duplicate this, make it smaller. So somehow, not somehow. Oh, that's not as called. Scrappy, as always, from a corner kick. Oh. So, as always, somehow I achieved flow state away from camera and I forgot I was recording. But this is the icon. Oh, no, not the icon. This is the thumbnail I'm going to go with at the end of the day. I just want to edit the video right now, and I should have it out by, say, tomorrow latest, because that's the only time it's going to be relevant. So, that's about it, guys. It's really, really exciting to be back, and I really hope to be more consistent, So long, goodbye, and until I see you in the next one. Peace.